A lot of people, as they get older, their bodies start to fall apart. Some of these wind up in a facility, and the focus is on what they have lost. Focus is on what's wrong with them. Many get confused, feel alone, are alone. What if the focus were on young people coming in to visit, living plants and animals? What if they woke up and smelled the aroma of bread baking? What if there were live music? What if? I'm Mary Porter.
I'm Lynn Bledsoe, and Mary and I are the founders of Ruth and Naomi Senior Outreach, a community nonprofit in Birmingham, Alabama.
We're both chaplains. We're Presbyterian ministers. We visit elder orphans, primarily in nursing homes. We show up, we stick around, we listen, we respond. We've learned a lot in the last 6 or 7 years.
When we go on a call, whether it's to a house or a hospital or a nursing home, a facility, we have no idea what we'll find. We just start out by walking the halls, and it's 2 harps and a dog. Mary, me, 2 harps and a dog. And we always get called into rooms.
Well, it's not her, I'm not in the right room. What she wants us to.
This week we went into one resident's room. Sandra was with us. We were together. She started sharing what was uppermost on her mind, you know, her confusion and her worry. And then she went into talking about her health. She said, I didn't know I was so sick. And she started talking about serious difficulties with her kidneys. And that's what we do. We show up, we listen, we respond. We did an arts camp this summer, 2010, at Hanover Health and Rehabilitation Center in Birmingham, Alabama.
Well, most of them are here for short-term therapy, rehab to go home, but so their concentration's on therapy, but this week their concentration has been on kids and painting and music.
We're not painting so much shapes as we are putting color on wet paper. So for a person with dementia in particular, it's nice because there's not a right way or a wrong way. Everything that we do, we try to set it up so that there is no way to fail, that there's always success and joy and pleasure.
Her name is Gloria. She's funny, real nice, funny. We did the little garden thing where we went outside, we planted some plants in the garden, and I dug the hole for her, and she would take the plant and put it in the soil, and then she would water it. And we just kept doing that over and again.
It's helping a lot because it's giving them the opportunity to do some things enjoyable and fun, as well as do the therapy that they're here for, and allows them to, they're actually working harder in the therapy this week than they have been in the past.
One of the reasons we were really pleased and delighted to be at Hanover was because they have a medical director who is a geriatrician.
Dr. Andrea White. I am a geriatrician and palliative care physician here at Hanover Health and Rehab. So I've been using my skill set here at Hanover to serve the patients of ours who are doing rehabilitation and who have pain management issues. We need to be humanizing the experience that we have when we're providing care for the folks whom we're taking care of. And it's not just about going to therapy, it's about feeling like we're looking at the total person.
One of our activities at the arts camp was shelling peas. We had a bushel of purple hull peas that we brought in and invited patients to join us in shelling. One of those who shelled with us was Jean. She remembered shelling peas on her porch many years. And her way to do it was to get a towel and put it in her lap. And so we got the kitchen staff to give us a towel, and we all had, or some of us had towels in our laps to catch the peas that were shelled.
I've learned that if you give the residents here something to do with you, that they'll remember what it was like when they were able to walk or do things on their own.
Another woman with us was Helen, who had pretty serious dementia. A pea in my hand and put it in Helen's hand and tried to guide her in shelling peas. And I found that if I would open it, put her thumb there, sometimes she'd get the peas to come out.
We're seeing more and more people in the nursing home that grew up on rock and roll, like me. And we had one of our kids, one of our teenagers, Came in the first day wired for sound. I mean, he had his electric guitar and his amplifier.
Today was pretty good because I played guitar for some senior citizens in this house.
This fella had a lot of loud in him and he wanted to share. We found Claude. Claude listened to rock and roll on his radio every day.
I'm just no hippie from the 60s.
And Noah, the student, was better than the radio. They found each other and they enjoyed rock and roll together.
Playing the surf is kind of like playing for fun because no matter what you play, people kind of like it. They like the fact that you went out of your spare time and played for them.
I think it gives them that sense of connection with something other than white jackets and white coats and uniforms.
We had one patient that came in for the drum circle. She didn't want to play the drum, she just wanted to watch, but her body, her hands and her feet were moving the whole time. And later she told me that she just couldn't help it. When the music starts, she just can't help moving her feet.
It's a beautiful thing to see teenagers work with seniors and assist each other, you know, and encourage each other. It's a beautiful thing, and it goes both ways. We see the teenagers wrapping their arms around the seniors and encouraging them through the drum circle, encouraging them to express themselves, encouraging them to create and have fun, and that's the beauty of the drum circle.
One of our activities was a walk on the beach. Many of the patients who did walk on the beach had not walked on the beach in years, actually, and they had concerns going on with their bodies that would have been relevant to walking on the beach. We laid paper out between these bars and they painted the bottoms of their feet. Then they held on to the rehab bars and they walked down the paper as if they were walking on the beach.
One of the women who did that, and she enjoyed it so much or was helping us so much, she actually did it twice. She thought she had neuropathy, which meant she wouldn't be able to feel anything, but she said she could actually feel the paint on her feet.
Walked on the beach.
She walked on the beach.
After they walked on the beach, we took the paper and the students painted a beach scene onto it and splattered paint that made it look like sand, and they hung it in the physical therapy room. So the patients that day had had a walk on the beach.
It just shows you a side of their identities that we in healthcare normally don't learn about because we're always so focused on the illness and just fixing the broken leg or the broken hip. But when we get to see their art, they're sharing a side of themselves that we might not otherwise ever get to know.
So rather than having specific individualized treatment goals, as a music therapist does, as a music practitioner, we work to create a healing environment so that the body can do its own healing work. We're not about curing anybody, but about helping to make things so healing can take place.
I think it's great to have the Ruth and Naomi ministries here, bringing high school students into a place where we usually just don't have a lot of young people running around. And we would probably benefit from having more youth here on a more regular basis.
A lot of people say they would never want to be a teenager again. Some people don't want to have teenagers come around, and that's ageism. The same thing happens with older adults. We have acquired a pattern of isolating our older adults and placing them in nursing homes so that in many ways they're the new homeless population. And many of the older adults that are in nursing homes are not even visited. There's a statistic that 60% of people that live in nursing homes are never visited.
Becoming spiritual companions to isolated older adults means being present, being attentive to what's going on beyond the outer shell of a body that may be falling apart and a mind that's going its own way. And that's something we can share and have shared this week with the teenagers, is be present, pay attention to what's going on, really be there for somebody.
Ruth and Naomi Senior Outreach is a ministry of presence.